Sunday night, Tracky talks bollocks.
Hi girls and guys, it's MrTrakky and we're on the right track. Guys, welcome to another episode of the Real Life Show. So grateful that you guys are still tuning in and we seem to be growing. This is just amazing to me. Episode 40 today. So, with that being said, let's get on with it. Let's get into the show. So, I have previously mentioned in an episode online dating, and when I split up with my ex from London after being together for a number of years, I took it quite bad. After a while, I decided, as I explained in that video, to go online, which I was coaxed into by my good mate Calamity, and it kind of took off for me in a way. I started to speak to several women across MSN. We're going old school here. MSN, way before the BlackBerry Messenger and the iMessenger and Facebook chat. I got speaking to this girl who was from an area just outside London, and I was still living in London at the time. This was before I came back to my home city, Birmingham. And after a couple weeks of speaking, we decided to hook up, and we hooked up and spent most of the night chatting in my car, chilling out. Ate some food from McDonald's, blah blah blah, and we found that there was definitely a connection as such, and we arranged to meet up again. So we met up. It became quite clear there was definitely an attraction, a sexual attraction, and she basically made a move on me, but kind of told me I needed to drive to a particular place. So she knew the area, I didn't have a clue. I just was told to drive somewhere. I didn't even know why she was telling me to drive there at the time. But we pulled up on a long road, which one side was just shrubbery. It was like a forest of some sort, and in the other side was like an industrial estate, but it looked quite derelict. And there was only a few gated buildings that seemed to be in operation. And we pulled up, and there was the odd car that I drove past, but I paid no attention to them at the time. We were sitting in a car chatting, and I pulled up next to a car that was identical to the particular car that I owned at the time, and I pulled up next to that, and this was in front of a gated building, but there was obviously nothing going on in there because every single light seemed to be switched out, and there was nobody in the car that I could see. So I was chatting away to this girl, music low, and she climbed in the back and grabbed me, and I climbed in the back, and I'm not going to go into detail, but you can guess what was happening. And then I heard a car pull up. Bearing in mind we was parked on like loose gravel and stone, so I popped my head up, and I had heavily tinted windows in the back of my car, limo tints at that, and it was a police car. So I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, am I about to get done? So I lay very still. Obviously my arse was on show for all to see, if you could see in the car. And then a torch was shone in my car. I lay down as still as possible, and she lay down as still as possible, barely breathing at this time because we could see this light just being shone in the car. And they went from the front, went to the back, but it was evident to me that the light just didn't pierce through my tints on my car enough for them to see. Now, why this was happening, the girl underneath me was giggling in my ears, which was making me giggle, but I was trying obviously not to make no noise. because of the situation we was currently in at the time. And it was one of them moments, you know, when you want to laugh but you shouldn't laugh. It was definitely one of them situations, so you want to laugh even more. Finally, after 2 to 3 minutes, I plucked up the courage to lift up my head. Now the car was still there, but we couldn't see nobody. And then we seen these officers come around the corner back to their car, so we done whatever we was doing and then got up. So I turned to her and asked her, I thought you said this was a really quiet area. She goes, it's not that it's a quiet area, it's an area known for dogging. So they don't really tend to come here because they kind of know what to expect. I didn't know what that terminology meant at the time at all. I wondered why I seen the odd car and every now and again you would see somebody walking past. Now if you don't know what dogging is, dogging is when people engage in a sexual act in a public place while others watch. Now, being the sheltered human being that I was, I didn't know anything about this at that particular age, and when she explained it to me, I was mortified. Switched on the car engine and drove away from the scene as if I'd stole my own car. And I was still trying to fathom why people would want to do that and why the hell she took me there in the first place. When she didn't even have the intention of anyone watching. It was literally a case where she knew it was a place where she potentially could have got away with it happening in the car without being interrupted, which was couldn't have been further from the truth. Guys, I thought I'd share this with you because it really was a butt clenching moment for me. And sorry, I've lost it here now. I've really lost it here. But guys, thank you for tuning in as always. If I can't even speak here, guys, you can hear it in my voice. Let me get myself together here. Yeah. There are many buttons you could hit, but the like and subscribe button, I hope they tickle your fancy. And as always, guys, don't forget to stay on the right track. Peace.